Hello and welcome to this new series which I call Critical Eye. Here we will review games like indie titles and stuff. It won't be super long reviews, but it should give you an insight no matter what. So we are kicking off this new series with a game called Welcome to Hanwell. Welcome to Hanwell is an open world horror game developed by Nathan Seedhouse and was released the 20th of October 2017 on Steam. In the game, you explore a world full of monsters called anomalies. The objective of the game is very simple. You're supposed to find pieces for a card so you can escape the city. This objective is done by finding highlighted places throughout Hanwell, where you solve a puzzle and move on to the next area. Some of the issues with Welcome to Hanwell hits you fast. During the first 2 minutes of the game, I already died once to a cheap death. Holy shit! I get that they're trying to tell you that nowhere is safe, but this could have been told to the player in so many other better ways. That, topped off with some overlooked typos during the first 5 minutes, kinda gives you a bad vibe of what's to come. Access the inventory with tab, the inventory you can view. After the first initial scene, you get to the open world of Hanwell. This is where you are introduced to the combat system of the game. I gotta give the game credit where credit is due. In a horror age where there are so many horror games where you can only run, not fight back, this is a welcome change to the genre. I personally like to have the option to fight back, to avoid tedious moments where you just stand around waiting for the monster to move on. That being said, the combat is very clunky. Having a combat system in a game doesn't add anything to the game if the combat is bad. I found the combat system to be very similar to games like Skyrim, where I just swing blindly around, hoping to hit my target. A lot of the enemies jump around or teleport, making it even harder for you to ensure that you're actually doing something useful by swinging your weapon around. Ah! Whoa, Jesus! I found myself not wanting to meet enemies all the time, but not for the right reasons. I wasn't scared of the enemies, I was unhappy with the mechanics of the game. Fighting or running from the enemies just felt very tedious, especially trying to run or fight a witch. She kept teleporting around, making it hard for me to hit her, and she never stopped teleporting after me if I tried to run away until I was dead. The puzzles for the main story are also way too easy. I find myself spending way too much time on some of them because I thought they were more complicated than they actually were. In the open world of Hanwell, there are a lot of collectibles. The developer really wants you to put a lot of time in searching around for collectibles, drawing out the playtime of the game. I started collecting some, but gave up because of the bad menu system in the game. You have limited item space, so every key takes up one slot, unless you put them on the keychain, but if you do that, you can never see the keychain again. That makes it impossible for you to know which key you have and which you don't. Both the item and map menu can only be navigated through the keyboard. This is a PC only game where you can't navigate a single menu with the mouse. Do you want to look around in the item menu? Use a WASD. Do you want to use an item? Press enter. Do you want to zoom in or out on the map? Press Q or E. Do you want to move the map around? Use WASD. This is a very bad menu system in a PC only game where you should be able to navigate everything in the menus through the mouse. So that's a lot of bad things introduced to the game over a very short period of time. All these things are introduced in the first hour of the game, and bear in mind that this game is about 2.5 to 3 hours long. So what does Welcome to Hanwell do right? Well, the game looks good, the graphics are fairly decent for an indie title of this scale, but that's pretty much it. Unless you're one of those players who like a lot of jump scares, because the game offers plenty. More DNA. Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh! Fuck my leg! Oh! Oh! I really wanted to like this game, seeing it's heavily inspired by games like Silent Hill, which is one of my favorite franchises, but the game falls flat. Turns out wanting to be one of the greats and actually standing next to the grate are two very different things. With boring and simple puzzles, clunky combat, tedious exploring, bad menus, and a runtime of about 3 hours, Welcome to Hanwell isn't something I can recommend someone buying. I'm sorry to say that I didn't find this game enjoyable at all, seeing that I wanted to like it so much. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this first episode of Critical Eye. If you did, please show your support. And until next time, I'll leave you with this clip. Who the hell designed this? Oh no! It's a spot. I'm just going to go refill my water. Woo! Okay, well, you know what? Fuck it. I think that's I think that's my calling card.